we're here with Gabe McCoy, who is a co-founder of Pierce McCoy, a boutique law firm in downtown Norfolk, and alum of Regent University's Law School. Gabe, thanks for being with us
Thanks
today.
for having me. Good to be here.
We're going to talk about IP. First, what does IP stand for?
Intellectual property.
All right, and that's a word that's thrown around a ton these days.
It is.
Let's define it, and why is it important?
Every business owner should know what their assets are. Intellectual property is one that, frankly, is becoming more and more important. To know what it is, to know how you use it, why, and how to protect it, and most importantly, how to make money off of it. That's important.
Is this chair IP?
No, it's tangible property.
Okay, so when you talk about assets, it's something that you're producing.
Something you own, something that's reflected on your balance sheet. Intellectual property, most commonly, people think of it as things like goodwill, software, your logo, trade secrets, domain names, things that can give you a competitive advantage.
So you can own a domain name, but actually not own the IP on that?
Well, I view that domain name as intellectual property.
Okay.
Correct.
But a logo, how could you not own a logo? Or where would the battle be with that?
At the creation phase, or other random things that could come up down the road. But the creation phase is where really we see the most mistakes being made. In creating that logo and designing it, there's certain default rules that allow authorship to establish ownership over that, let's say for instance, that copyright or that logo.
So it's kind of two parts. One, the person who's building it,
Right.
and who owns that property.
Right.
But then what if they create something that's similar to something else in there? That's an issue too?
That goes into protection.
Okay.
And I'll start with this. I think you need to know where your IP is owned. I view it as the old phrase, a bundle of sticks. If you have people helping you create logos, brands, a book, content, you name it, a trinket, a widget, a pulley system, all of those rights need to be documented. And you as the inventor, you as the creator or the author, you really need to make sure you're documenting with all these other people that are helping you that they're merely works for hire. They're here to help you, and hopefully your entity, own that IP. So, and why do we even care about IP is the real question. I think it's to separate yourself from your competition. It's to create barriers to entry and to create revenue streams.
So we watch Shark Tank to talk about, what IP do you have, what do you have patent pending and things like that.
Right.
So all those kind of fall under the same thing?
It does. And this is the number one reason why. People want to know, why do I need a contract for somebody to help me build my logo? Or why do I need somebody to help me, get a contract for some gal to help me build my website? Well, I tell you why, because hopefully 24 months from now, 2 years, 3 years down the road, you're going in front of somebody who has capital and say, hey, I'd like you to invest and join my team. If they're smart, if they have someone like me on their side, which they will, they're going to say, I want to know who created all this intellectual property, and I want proof that you own it all. And far too often, people don't have that documentation to prove that.
What are the biggest challenges that you see that people have with IP?
They don't know that other people can have rights to it, and they avoid or they forget or they just don't put any contract in place. And then 3 years down the road, when somebody does due diligence on the acquisition or the financing, that hole comes up.
Is the company not worth as much then? Do they not know?
Arguably not worth as much. The price might drop, the cost of capital may go up, and it's a lot harder to clean up something you didn't do and go back and say, hey, Mary, do you mind signing this assignment of IP agreement? Why? Oh, we're going to get $10 million and we need to make sure we own everything. Oh, really?
I want a piece of that if I was Mary, right? And she doesn't get it?
Sure.
That's what potentially could happen?
That could potentially happen. I've seen it happen.
Gabe McCoy, it's been a pleasure.
Always. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.